Hey, welcome back, guys. So today on this video, we are talking about MoneyGram, and more specifically, I'm going to quickly answer a question I keep getting a lot on my other video, and that is, how does MoneyGram work? So let's go ahead and talk about this. First off, guys, real quick video, not too much to go over, but why would you want to know how does MoneyGram work anyways? Well, that's pretty easy. If you're running an online business, you know that sometimes you have overseas contractors and they ask you to send them cash, sometimes to their bank account or sometimes so they can pick it up at a location, but you're not sure what MoneyGram is. Whatever the case is, it's a pretty easy process. It's handled here in your MoneyGram account. Check my video description if you need a referral link. So I've already logged into my online MoneyGram account, and this is the home screen. So basically with MoneyGram, what you're going to do is you need to create an account. If you need help creating an account, go back and watch my other video that describes that in detail. Once you've created an account, you need to connect a payment method. So that could be a debit card or a bank account or a credit card. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and request the payment be sent to your payee. So it could be your employee, it could be your contractor, it could be a friend or a family as well. The information you're going to need from them we'll go over, but you're basically going to need their full name as it appears on their identification, usually their passport. So even if they don't use a middle name or a second last name, you need to put that in your MoneyGram request. Otherwise, it could be declined once they go to retrieve the money. And MoneyGram does charge a fee to send money out, and that really depends on how you're going to be funding the MoneyGram. So first off, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and choose the person you're going to be sending money to. If you don't have anybody here, you can go ahead and click here, send to someone new. Okay, what you're going to do next is you're going to choose the amount of money that you're going to be sending through MoneyGram. So let's just say $100. Next, you're going to go ahead and choose their country. So let's just say we're sending it to the Dominican Republic. All right, next you're going to click on estimate fees. Okay, guys, so this is really important. So you can see the conversion rate is going to be right here. Now, this is going to change depending on how your employee is going to be picking up the money. And I'll show you that in just a few seconds. So what you want to do now is go ahead and choose the funding option. So this is how you're going to pay for the MoneyGram. So you can connect a bank account, you can use a debit card, you can even use a credit card if it's Visa, MasterCard, or Discover. Just note that if you're going to use a credit card, it's going to be a lot higher fee. So you can see this is $6.49 instead of $1.99. Also, if you're going to be sending money through MoneyGram using a credit card, your bank credit card is going to charge you a cash transaction fee. And then also usually on credit cards, they're going to charge you a higher interest rate. So if you can pay with a bank account or a debit card, it's just going to end up saving you some money. You can also go to a cash location. So you don't really need to do anything online. If you're going to do that, you can just go to the location and request to send the money. With that, you want to click here, select location, and then you can search through locations. They have locations all over the world. So for this video, let's go ahead and just choose a debit card. Okay, once you do that, you want to go ahead and choose how they are going to receive the money. So this is going to be different depending on which country your employee is living in. So for the Dominican Republic, it looks like I can send to a bank account. I can send to their debit card. I can send to a location and they can pick up the cash. This is kind of interesting. It looks like they can even deliver the cash to somebody's home, which is the first time I've ever seen that. And then also they can pick up at something called Caribe Express. Also, one thing I want to let you know is, like I told you, the conversion is listed right here. So if they end up receiving the money in a different form, then this conversion is going to change. So direct to bank account, 58.23, but let's change it to debit card deposit. And you can see it drops down to 57.85. So that means they're going to receive less money on the receiving end. So just kind of keep that in mind. If that's the case, then you may need to increase the amount you're going to be sending from 100, let's say, to 102. Okay, so once you do that, you're going to scroll down and you're going to see the total cost related to you. So for this transaction, it's going to cost me $104.99. However, the amount they're going to receive is going to change depending on the method. With home delivery, $57.85. If we go back to bank account, they'll end up getting $58.23. So it's almost 100 of the DOP difference. So once you have all that figured out, go ahead and just scroll down and click on continue. Okay, next you're going to go ahead and enter their information. So this is who is receiving the money, their first name, last name, middle name, second last name. Again, if it shows up on their ID, you want to be sure to put this in. If it's listed on their ID and you don't put it in, they may end up going to pick up the money and they're going to be declined. And then you're going to have to redo the transaction. Now, if you're going to be sending the money to their bank account, you're going to enter in their bank account right here. And then you want to click on continue. Okay, next you're going to go ahead and choose your payment method. So I've already added my debit card here. If you haven't added a debit card, you can go ahead and click that here, or your bank account, depending on how you are choosing to pay for this MoneyGram. And once you've done that, go ahead and click on continue. So next you're going to get this warning. So this goes out every time you send a MoneyGram transaction, basically letting you know, don't send money to someone that you don't know, or if somebody called you over the phone, like saying they're the IRS or some sort of telemarketer, because it's probably a scam. So read through this, and if you're okay with that, click on review and send. Okay, so next you're going to get the summary. So you want to read through it so it lets you know exactly what the conversion is. what the fees are, how you're paying, how they're going to be picking up the money, and the name of the person who's receiving the money. Let me scroll down, and then the total amount. So if all that looks good to you, you want to click on Submit Transaction. Once you click on Submit Transaction, you have to wait for the confirmation to be emailed to you from MoneyGram. Let me go ahead and jump over to the email and show you what that looks like. Okay, guys, I went ahead and opened up an email confirmation I received from MoneyGram, as you can see right here. So basically what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to screenshot this or just copy the number. So this number is an 8-digit number. So with this 8-digit number and the receiver's ID, preferably a passport, they can go to a MoneyGram location and present their ID along with this code to pick up the money. Now, country to country, it's going to be a little different. Sometimes they're going to ask for a little bit more information. Sometimes they will ask for your full name, the person who's sending the money. Also, sometimes they're going to ask the receiver how much the transfer is for. And that's just to confirm that they are in fact authorized to receive the money. Now, once the money has been picked up at a location, you will receive an email confirmation from MoneyGram letting you know the money's been picked up. Let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. Okay, so here is the email received notifying that the money has been picked up. You can see your transfer has been picked up. So that's nice to know when your employee picks up the money. And also it's confirmation that if they say they never received the money, you're going to have this confirmation email from MoneyGram letting you know that the money was received. If they say they never got it or it wasn't them that picked it up, you need to send this confirmation over to them. And that way they can contact MoneyGram and open up an investigation. So there you have it, guys. If you're wondering how MoneyGram works, that's the easiest way I know how to use it. Also, just keep in mind, again, like I said, depending on which country you're sending it to, their processes could be a little bit different, and that's based off of government regulation. Hopefully you found that video useful. If so, click thumbs up or maybe consider subscribing to my channel, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thanks again for watching.